Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Anis Adillah binti Zainuddin. I will be presenting my academic paper with title Trend of Zakat Distribution and Allocation of Zakat among Asnaf in Selangor and Pahang. The word zakat was mentioned 32 times in the Quran. That is a proof on how important zakat is in Islam. There are eight asnaf of zakat and they are specified by Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. In Malaysia, Majlis Agama Islam Negeri is in charge in management of zakat. Each state has its own ma'in, which oversee all aspects of Islam, including zakat. They are responsible for assisting the asnaf who are in a difficult circumstances so that their daily burden is lessened. Therefore, the aim of this study is to investigate the trend of zakat distribution and allocation of zakat distribution for each asnaf from 2018, 2019 and 2020 in Selangor and Pahang. The first literature review is by Hairul Nizam and Saneb on 2019. In the study found that many Muslims are not satisfied with the method of distribution of zakat by zakat institution that is caused by information provided that is not complete. Later study made by Eza Ilani et al. On 2014 discovered that Majlis Agama Islam Negeri Sembilan is the most efficient organisation in distribution of zakat. Raja Azlan Raja Ahmad et al. Conclude that Majlis Agama Islam Melaka have provided good service in management of zakat allocation. Rahman and Hassan ran a survey found that a negative perception by a society is due to fake news that they receive from media. Net Hairunisa Wahid and all discovered that Selangor, Terengganu, Johor, Sabah and Pulau Pinang have increased their efficiency in allocation of zakat among 8 categories of asnaf. Based on Abdul Rahman and Hassan, they stated that hard kifayah is used to determine the eligibility of zakat recipient from poor and needy, which is monitored by Majlis Agama Islam Negeri. Then, by using questionnaire to 18 mu'alaf, Fuada et al. Found that after receive zakat, the condition of mu'alaf is much better. After that, Abdul Rahman and Hassan in their research have discussed on the effort of Majlis Agama Islam Pahang in implementing VET program such as skill in grooming, cooking, ironwork, and electricity, which the objective to change the status of asnaf. Moreover, the effort Lembaga Zakat Selangor to help the poor. Nubani and Halim revealed that the mobile entrepreneur and LGBT gas program is the most effective program as it brings successful, which transform the recipient zakat to be entrepreneur. Lastly, Rauda et al. Conclude that zakat capital aid is a form of alternative capital injection for asnaf to start a small business. This study is conducted based on qualitative approach where secondary data that is obtained from the annual data that be collected from website, Twitter and Facebook of Mu'ed and Ma'is from 2018 until 2020. Also, other articles that are taken from website, interpretation of Quranic verse, hadith interpretation and so on. Let's start the finding with zakat distribution in Selangor. Lembaga Zakat Selangor were established on 15 February 1994 and is a subsidiary of Majlis Agama Islam Selangor. It was formed with the primary goal of collecting zakat and improving the current management of the zakat collection and distribution system in Selangor. Zakat distribution in Selangor represent a strong trend in 2018 until 2020, which was closely followed by zakat collection. One of the factors could be due to the Muslim community's trust in LZS has grown as a result of the many zakat system model that has been undertaken. Based on the bar chart, we can see that zakat collection and distribution has been increasing steadily in 2018 and 2019. In the year 2020, the data discovered is only from January to May, as the annual report 2020 has not been released from LZS. As illustrated, the data collection for 2020 is 342 million, while for zakat distribution is 337.4 million. As observed in this table, the miskin group has consistently received the largest amount of zakat fund and rising up year by year, with 293 million in 2018, 383.1 million in 2019, and 137.3 million on 2020. Meanwhile, Ibn Sabir Group continuously received the lowest portion of the zakat fund for each year, as in 2018 for 1.1 million, for 2019 1.4 million, and in the year 2020 350,043 ringgit. LZS enhanced the zakat distribution by implementing development program on 5 areas: social development, educational development, religious institution development, human development, and economic development. Majlis Ugama Islam and Adat Rasa Melayu Pahang was established on 1926, which now have 16 branches. Even since 2018, zakat collection in Pahang has been steadily increased. That might be due to the rising number of zakat payers in Pahang, as well as the many channels that make the process easier to pay zakat, and the community awareness to pay zakat. From the bar chart, it is spotted that in 3 years, the amount of zakat collected in Pahang has increased year by year. As for the zakat distributed, the amount has rose up in 2019 and fall in 2020. Started with 2018, the zakat collection is 145.9 million, while zakat distribution is 141.9 million. In the following year, 2019, they are slightly increased for both zakat collection, for 147.5 million, and zakat distribution 146,000.7 million. In 2020, with 158.1 million was collected and 139.4 million is being distributed to recipients. According to the table, it indicates that the Fisabilillah group received the most zakat in Pahang for 3 years in a row, as in 2018 for 76.1 million, after that 74.7 million on 2019, and 54.9 million for the year 2020. Meanwhile, the Garimi received the lowest portion of zakat in 2018 and 2019, with 203,077 ringgit and 49 cents in 2018, and 193,990 ringgit and 50 cents in 2019, while Ibn Sabir is the one who received lower zakat on 2020 for 169,364 ringgit and 66 cents. MUEB strengthens its zakat distribution by performing a 5-program section consists of Fakir and Miskin program, educational program, health program, dakwah and management of Mu'alaf program, and management of Mussurah and Graveyard program. Now, we will arrive at our highlight discussion, which is the comparison between Selangor and Pahang in total distribution of zakat. Every year, the level of fund collected has been rising, as well as the work of distributing zakat that getting better. The growth of zakat distribution in several Malaysian states has resulted in an increase in distribution. As stated in the graph, it points out that zakat distribution in Selangor is more higher than Pahang from 2018 until 2020. As stated in 2018, the difference of total distribution of zakat is 687.9 million, and Pahang once again far behind Selangor in 2019 with 721.4 million gap. In respect for 2020, even though the data for full year is not complete for Selangor, the zakat distribution still have bigger number than Pahang, with 197.9 million contrast. Several factors can be linked with the higher value of zakat distribution in Selangor, which is the cost of living. The minimum wages earned does not match the cost that they have to bear. A resident in Selangor faces home debt, commitment, and higher price of goods. After that, the ability of LZS to identify more Zakat applicants in Selangor. It can be proved by looking at the statistics in 2020, where our country facing the pandemic COVID-19, which give a lot of impact, especially when many people lose their source of income. LZS immediately made a move to classify for those individuals who's affected. Other than that, the migration of the citizen to the state of Selangor to earn a living is also the reason for the increasing in Zakat distribution. When many people migrate, the amount of Zakat collection increases as people should pay Zakat where they seek sustenance, which in turn lead to increasing in Zakat distribution. As for Pahang, the total Zakat distribution is lower than Selangor, since the total population in the state of Pahang is much lower, with about 1.75 million people with a population density of 48.6 people per kilometre. That means the higher the population, then the higher the collection obtained, and in turn leads to an increase in distribution of Zakat to Asnaf. Moreover, difficulty in obtaining Asnaf data due to the large geographical area of the state of Pahang. Pahang is the largest state in Peninsular Malaysia with the wide 35,960 km². In addition, Zakat distribution in Pahang is lower than Selangor because the community lost trust in MUIB. So, they took action to pay Zakat directly to the Asnaf. This is due to the negative perception of the society that stem from the action of the media that spread false news about the institution. Now, let's move to the comparison of the Zakat allocation among Asnaf in Selangor and Pahang. As discovered, there is significant difference in distribution of Zakat among 8 Asnaf conferring the priority. Based on bar chart, it shows the Zakat distribution more focused on miskin group with the average of 38% in Selangor. This is due to the increasing number of Asnaf in that state. In Selangor, an income of 2,150 ringgit can classify as urban poor. Furthermore, many people lose their job. This group lose income due to the recruitment and is unable to meet the basic needs of themselves and their dependents, along with the effect of the COVID-19 outbreak, which has affected the source income of many parties. For Pahang, the Fisabilillah group consistently obtained the largest proportion of Zakat distribution with the average 48.09%. Pahang give more attention to Fisabilillah group since they follow the opinion Maliki and Hanafi scholar that allowing Zakat to be distributed to any group of Asnaf that much more preferable nowadays. This is because Zakat distribution for the Fisabilillah recipient are perceived to have a broader impact on society in Pahang and also one of the effort to aim to upholding and defending Islam. Next, for the group that receives lowest proportion of Zakat, in Selangor, Ibnu Sabir is the lowest group to receive distribution assistance, which the average 0.14%. This is because the number of Asnaf didn't have a bigger number under this group. As for that, under development program, Ibnu Sabir only big classes on social development program as aid for Musafir compared to other group of Asnaf. Meanwhile, for Pahang, the Garimi group received a lesser proportion Zakat for the average 0.24%. It happened as for Garimi group, the aid will only be given to people who owe to meet basic needs, which means people nowadays owe a lot because they want to live in luxury, not because they can afford it. Overall, both Maiz and Mu'ib distribute the Zakat to 8 Asnaf following the Shariah, as Zakat distributions must be based on fiqh al-awlawiyah in order to get the best result in fulfilling Shariah purpose. Their effort undertaken by the Majlis Agama Islam Selangor and Majlis Agama Islam Pahang in distribution of Zakat among 8 Asnaf should be applauded. The distribution of Zakat implemented by this institution has successfully reduced the poverty rate and narrowed the poverty gap. This study believes a few ways need to be undertaken to improve the Zakat institution performance. First and foremost, by making a mosque as one of zakat institution where maybe a small office can be built in the mosque area to facilitate the affair of the public. The mosque function could be expanded to include zakat application and distribution to zakat recipients in a specific community. Furthermore, the recommendation would be by strengthening the relationship between Asnaf and Amir through activities such as Eid celebration, Telematch Day and so on. This activity in hope can bring joy to Asnaf family, where there might be some of them who have never experienced it out there. Also, as one of the way for Amir to get know the Asnaf better in order to get accurate data on the needs they should have, or to determine their actual level of distress. After that, emphasizing the role of Amir as an intermediary to communicate with the Asnaf, Ma'in must appoint Amirs in accordance with the standard set to ensure that the goals of the organisation are achieved. The workers must therefore have knowledge before providing accurate information to zakat recipients. Another recommendation would be by using technology to control society's negative perception of zakat institution. Despite the fact that technology has been widely adopted around the world, it is still unable to attract Malaysian residents, since majority of institutions are reluctant to publish the amount of zakat they have collected and distributed, or the activity they had carried on their website. Therefore, to attract our people's interest, this organisation should provide sufficient information, up-to-date data, good web design exhibit on website and mobile application. In conclusion, the efficiency of zakat distribution performed by Majlis Agama Islam Negeri is something which is considered important to ensure that the management of the organisation is smooth in achieving the goal for the well-being of Muslims. Good zakat distribution performance and efficiently able to influence the collection of zakat in the future. The hope is that the existence of this institution can reduce the poverty gap while strengthening the economic position of local Muslims, and also as the effort to escalate the image of Islam in the eyes of Muslim and non-Muslim in Malaysia and the whole world.